Hello, Heart Stampers. We are here for another evening of Make It Monday, and we are live on Monday, not on a Tuesday this week. I think there's lots going on. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend and is finding ways to stay cool. This is an intense, extreme heat summer. I don't think we're used to this. Maybe those of you who are used to traveling to those warmer destinations are, but I have to say my body loves warm temperatures, so I am loving every minute of it. Hello, Sue. Thanks for joining. And even here in Edmonton, where I am, usually, like, it's a dry heat, but for some reason there's moisture in the air, and I don't understand it. I'm guessing maybe it's from fires being put out with water sprayed in the air. I have no idea. Maybe someone who knows science better than me can maybe explain that. But my skin's loving it too, because I was extremely dry before, and so this has been nice. Hey Diane, welcome. So this week started another week with a new shade of summer as part of my 5 colors I've chosen for stamping with this summer. So this week we kicked it off with Bubble Bath. Hey Joy, welcome. So I wanted to do some crafting using Bubble Bath, but I also have a huge thank you to those of you who participated in bingo and have your card kits. And so I was hoping to have a written tutorial done up, didn't happen, so I'm doing it via this video on how to make your cards. So if you haven't already gathered them, or if you're watching the replay, you can grab your card kits from bingo night. But everyone else is going to get to see how to make it, but I'm going to do it in a different color combination. So hopefully that doesn't confuse those who might be stamping along with us. But you can always watch the replay, fast forward it. They're also waiting for instructions for the mini album, so stay tuned. That'll come out later this week. Friendly reminder, bonus days is still on. What does that mean? With every $60 you spend, you get $6 in bonus bucks. So you're going to want to take advantage of that by placing orders tomorrow, the 23rd. It's 1-day shipping. That was just announced this week when you spend over $100. If you do spend, or if you do want to add to my order that's going in, you can. However, there's no bonus bucks for you. You have to order online to get the bonus bucks. Hey Corey, hey Carmen, hi Cam, welcome everyone. So bonus bucks are still on until the end of this month. What else? Ooh, past paper pumpkin kits are going to be on clearance from July 23rd to July 25th. So past kits that are still available, as well as refill kits, they are going on sale up to 75% off for those 3 days only. So go and check it out. If you've watched some of my past videos, you may have seen some of the stamp sets from them. Or if you maybe want me to kind of show you something again, just post a comment and I'll try and see if I have it, and I'll post a picture, or I'll find a picture on the internet for you. But there's lots of great things, so make sure you check it out, because up to 75% off is a sweet deal. Hey Deborah, welcome. Okay, so I think that covers all the Stampin' Up! News. There's always seems like there's lots going on. I am still planning my summer soiree, I think that's how I say it, for August 4th. I just haven't sat down to plan the dates out yet, but it will be at my house, in my backyard, starting at 6 o'clock, but you can just drop in whenever. Of course, it's weather dependent, so I'll get more details on that soon. However, I was today able to confirm with the Best Western in Wetaskiwin that my reservation is booked. So they do have me in the schedule. It's just we're still working out the cost for food. So stay tuned. Hopefully I can get that out this week. Yes, thanks Diane. I did say free shipping July 23rd, 1 day only. Because take advantage, but it's a minimum of $100 order to put in to get the free shipping. But again, if there's just 1 or 2 things you might want, feel free to send them to me to add to my order. I'll try and hold off on my order until probably till around 8 o'clock. and then I'll send it in. So send it to me before then, but just know you won't get any bonus bucks for it. You have to place the order online to get your bonus bucks. Okay. Sorry, what was I saying? The retreat. So yes, the cost of the retreat will come out as soon as I solidify what that will be with the hotel. You will be responsible for booking your own hotel, but I am trying to get a retreat rate for that, so stay tuned. And they are giving us the option to come a night early, so for Thursday night. So Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and leave at 4 on Sunday. So I will share more details on that. I'm excited I can plan that. It is September, what did I say? September 26, 27, 28, 29. So it's the end of September. It'll kind of be your fall retreat, fall/holiday, I guess, but not too holiday because Brenda and I are having our holiday retreat October 19th for our holiday stamp camp. So hopefully you can join us for that. We're going to get to see the new holiday catalog July 24th, so demonstrators get the get the inside scoop of what that new mini looks like this week. So then we'll know what our stamp set is that we're going to include in the kit and all the other goodies, so watch for that promo coming out here soon too. And if you're not a demonstrator, consider signing up, because then you get to, take a sneak peek at the catalog, but plus you can order your starter kit contents based on what we can pre-order starting in August. Okay, I think that covers it all. Now let's get crafting. That's why we're here. Okay, so I mentioned those of you who are at bingo, you had little craft kits, so play along, stamp along. I've cut into different colors. We're going to start off with this particular card. It's a super cute card. I tried to make the focal point being Petunia Pop, but Summer Splash kind of took over. So I guess it's a mix of all the fun shades of summer, well, part of the shades of summer, but a very bright card. I did have a learning. This no longer looks like Petunia Pop, and I'll share that with you as we go. So I wanted to highlight for you, I guess before we get started, the Bubble Bath colors, because this is the shades of summer this week is Bubble Bath. And I wanted to remind you guys of the fun designer series stack that came out in the last mini catalog, because it carried over and it had Bubble Bath pattern paper in it. So don't forget about all those fun dots and stripes. Here's the other side, Bubble Bath. So don't forget that we do have some shades and patterns, even though you might not necessarily see them in the 12 by 12 packs. They do exist in the 6 by 6 packs. Then of course we have our blends, our marker, and our regular paper. So that is what we are playing with today. I also pulled out some ink colors. So Bubble Bath, like I said, is what we're playing with, but I've come up with new color combinations that you'll see posted this week. I've got Bubble Bath, Petunia Pop, and Crumb Cake. Obsessed with that, and I don't know if any of you guys saw my ice cream celebration card yesterday, but this was it, and it featured that color combination, but it was more Petunia Pop than Bubble Bath, so we'll see what I can come up with reverting to make it more Bubble Bath than Petunia Pop. So this is one color combo that I think will be fun to play with. But there's another one in that I'm taking out Petunia Pop and I'm adding in Pool Party. So I really like the soft look of this. I love Crumb Cake. I think this will be a great color combination, so I'm going to play with that. Although I'm not playing with this color combination tonight either. I decided on something different. So let me show you what that ended up being. And that ended up being Bubble Bath with some soft sea foam. This is that very light green. Soft sea foam, and not Crumb Cake, although, yeah, I guess Crumb Cake I am playing with the first card. With the first card, I'm playing with Crumb Cake. Is that not fun? So anyways, that works as well. So there's so many different combinations, and yeah, let's just get started. That's going to be the card that I'm going to start with first of all, is in all of those colors. Doesn't that just look, it looks so soft and relaxing, almost luxurious. You could also turn this into a fancy baby card. I did buy the baby bundle with the onesies, the die cuts. I'll have to play with that. But these should mimic all the pieces that you have in your kit for those of you who got the kit for participating in bingo and purchased extra bingo cards to play with. With a minimum of 5 bingo cards, you got the kit. So in it, you should have a white card base. You should have a scrap to stamp your leaves on. You'll have 2 hexagons for us to stamp our greeting on. And then you have 3 stripes. Now again, yours are going to be these bright colors. I'm playing with the soft colors, but we're going to do the exact same design, except I'm doing it with a different card. And then of course you've got a little bit of ribbon and some twine, and then some embellishments. And you should have little pieces of the in color gemstones. They're like shiny and fun and a little bit opaque. But I do recommend pulling out your blends that might be similar in color, because I did darken the blends. Even though there is summer splash in those gems, I actually colored them with the blends to make them a little bit darker so they popped. So we're going to do that as well with our card. So first of all, I'm just going to grab a surface just so that I can stamp on and off on, and I'm going to start with my stripes. And I guess I should show you the stamps that we're featuring. This is all featuring the Friends for Life stamp set, and this was the bingo product. So each month in bingo, everyone gets, usually it's up to a $30 product. It's anywhere from $25 to $30, but sometimes I'm overly generous. And you get that in your bingo bag. Plus you purchase extra cards to try and win a bigger jackpot. And then all the prizes for the 12 games plus the jackpot are Stampin' Up! Prizes. And so each month is themed, and this past one was Friend for Life, and that's the reason why I'm stamping with it, because I want to show you there's all kinds of uses and great things to do with the stamp set. Okay, and then of course if you chose not to get the stamp set, because of course it's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, you do have the option to substitute it for something same or extra value, but you have to substitute that before I place the order, just because the order goes in and things come out, and that's what ends up happening. But you can do that beforehand. So our next bingo is August 11th, and the cutoff for that I believe is August 4th, and it is for the kit Remarkable Kindness. Is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, I don't ever remember what it's called. Just like this might be it. I do know it's on back order, but it is coming back. It's called Expressions of Kindness. So everyone's going to get this kit in their bingo box. So hopefully you join us, and I hope it comes in before I place my order, because we want to stamp with that in August. Okay, I'm digressing. I'm talking too much. Let's get stamping. So I'm pulling out the leaf first, as well as soft seafoam, but if you're stamping along with me, you're going to use Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, and Peach Pie. If you don't have those colors, you can use something that's a little bit lighter. So for instance, Coastal Cabana would work, so would Berry Burst, even though that's a little darker. And you could probably get away with even like Pumpkin Pie for this one instead of Peach Pie. Or better yet, if you have a Versamark, make sure it's well inked and your Versamark will work just the same. We always sometimes forget we have that Versamark. I find that I only use it for embossing, but really I should be using it for card stamping as well. Okay, so remember I'm doing my leaf in the the seafoam, soft seafoam. And all I'm doing is just randomly going over it, and I'm just giving it a little bit of twist just so that it looks like it's got a little bit of wave to it, but I'm just stamping up and down so that it ends up looking like so. And I'm going to leave this sample here for you guys in the corner just so that you can take a look with the colors that you're stamping with to make it a little bit easier. Okay, and then on my scrap piece of paper, I'm also going to stamp 2 leaves that I'm going to cut out. Now yours might not be as big as this one. If that's the case, just you're just going to alternate it to make sure you can fit 2 of them on the same piece of paper. Oh, I realized I didn't bring a scrub cloth. But after that, that's all you need the summer splash for, as well as that leaf. I'm going to finish stamping before I start cutting. So now I'm going to grab the bubble bath, and we're going to use hearts. We're going to use these lovely little hearts. Yes, Diane, you can use Versamark. Woohoo! Oh yeah, and thanks Diane for sharing where you find the free shipping. Again, that's demonstrators will find that on the demonstrator website. If you're not a demonstrator, just know it is like it's like a call out, a verbal call out, and it is free shipping day, one day only, the 23rd of July. Okay. So now with my bubble bath, I'm using bubble bath. You're probably using Petunia Pop. I am randomly stamping my hearts directly on here. And now I'm alternating because sometimes I might want the whole heart showing. Sometimes I might want the small heart. Sometimes I might want little pieces of both. So I'm just going back and forth like so, so that we can get that. I'm just going to see if I can put this a little closer for you. There we go. Okay, so that is all for the bubble bath. I don't even think we're going to be using that anymore. And in your case, Petunia Pop. And then the last stamping is you're going to use the brush stroke that's in here. We're going to stamp with that brush stroke, and I'm going to put that on a small block. Like so. And I'm going to use the same ink, so I'm going to use Crumb Cake. And what I'm doing is I'm inking the whole thing, although I really just need to ink one side of it. So I'm just going to ink one side and stamp, and then I'm going to ink, ooh, I better show you here on the screen. And then I'm going to use the opposite side and stamp. Whoops. Didn't quite get it all on there. So I'm just going to go back and forth, and I'm only inking like not even half of that image, making sure that I put down equal pressure, and then I'm going back. So I'm just going back and forth, and leaving just a small gap in between both of them, not a lot. And it's just going to give it a different textured look. It almost looks camouflage to me. You could probably have some fun playing with some greens, making some camouflage. Okay. So there are our strips. Ooh, ooh. As you can see, I've got this little inky. Let me just use my rubbing alcohol to give that a clean since I don't have my wet rag here. I was busy doing craft room cleanup. I got all my rags cleaned. I got my whole workstation all shiny. It feels so good to get everything all cleaned up. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to bring back my card base, and okay, that did dry fast. And then I'm going to start layering my different strips. I'm going to use my preferred adhesive. You use what you like. I really like my Stampin' Seal. It works well for me. It took me a long time to figure it out, but now that I do, it works wonders. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap, probably 1/4 of an inch from the right-hand side. And I'm just layering my strips. So my strips are all cut to 5.5 inches so that they're the same length as the card base. I'm going to line this up. Look how soft that is. Doesn't that just look so relaxing? I think it does. But now that I've said that this looks like camouflage, all of a sudden it's not so restful. It's amazing the power of words and how it can change something. Hopefully once it dries and seeps into the card, it'll lighten up a little bit, because like, doesn't that look pretty darn dark? I might be rethinking what I just did. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and cut. We're going to go ahead and cut our leaves. Did anyone see my post on Just for the Love of Stamping about how many pairs of scissors does one own? I know you as crafters have many pairs, more than one, so I hope you go take that challenge and post, because I would like to do take a average of what all of that is. But feel free to post in the comments here as well. Let me know. Are you average? I'm scared to actually count all of mine. I started, but I actually have 2 of the short-handed rubber scissors. And I have like 5 regular scissors, jumbo, like full size. And I have like 7 mini scissors. So, how many is that so far? I wasn't even adding. I have a lot of scissors. Let's just put it that way. Plus, I have like 3 pairs of fabric scissors. Where are my sewers out there? I know you have lots of scissors. You probably have crimping scissors. And if any of you guys are crafters, you probably have those Fiskars scissors that come in that wheel where there was like 20 different kinds of scissors that cut different shapes. Does anyone remember those? I used to have every shape there was, or at least I think I did. I did part with them. I realized I didn't need that many scissors. One day I might declutter all of these too. So this week in Craft Room Cleanup, we're working on our workspace. We did the front entrance already this month. And we're working on our workspaces. That's the reason why we're talking lots about scissors. You'll probably hear me talk lots about cleaning our trimmers too, because I just had an incident getting ready for this where I couldn't actually cut a piece of paper because it was so much garbage in the truck that I had to clean it. So stay tuned for that. Okay. And of course, for whatever reason, everything's frozen. So if you're telling me how many scissors you have, I'm sorry, I can't see the response, but I know that you probably have a lot. And also, if you ask me any questions, you can ask me anything when we're on Make It Mondays. I'm happy to answer anything. Just know that it might not be until after Make It Monday when I respond. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my stamp set and I'm going to find my Thinking of You. Such a lovely sentiment. And even better, that I really should be washing those and putting them back in, but like I said, I don't have my cleaner, so I'll do that after. I just love that it's a mix of handwriting and print font, and it's fun print font. It's like a large type, what do they call that? Type font? Anyway, now with this particular collection or color combination, I'm actually going to use Pebbled Path instead of black in order to stamp my sentiment. Although I'm almost questioning that now, seeing how dark that crumb cake is. I might be wishing I used crumb cake, but we're not. We're going to use Pebble Path. I almost always go to this color instead of black when I'm stamping with Bubble Bath. I just find it goes with the tone a little bit better and it's not so bold. Whereas these are bold colors when they stand out, so the black is necessary. And I'm putting equal pressure, holding it down, and there we go. So we've got that stamped. And then, oh, I know how I'll tie that in. I'm also going to use the marker. And you could use the Summer Splash marker on your card, because I think that's how I'm going to get around it. In that, I'm going to give it a little splash. So just a little flicker, and I'm trying just to aim right kind of where this is going to cover up. So not onto those strips. I don't know if you can see that, but just a little bit of flicking to get some splash there. And so in your kit, you also have a hexagon punch. Yours will be Petunia Pop. And you're just going to give that a snip in half. I'm just going directly in half. I'm not pulling out my trimmer. I'm using my large scissors, because I don't know if you saw that. By using the large scissors, I could cut it in one big swoop. And so that avoids any possible like balancing act that you might be doing and snipping kind of off-centered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the white, just near the top and the bottom. So not the whole thing, just the top and bottom. And what I'm going to do is line this up, leaving a little bit of border. Whoopsies, except I have to line it up correctly. And you're just matting that so that it's like equal distance all the way around. There we go. And I'm going to do the same to the bottom. And so now all I've done is just looks like I've kind of layered it, but I really haven't. I just cut it in half. So remember, you can use your punches to make little mats as well. We sometimes forget about that because we think, oh, they're the same size, it won't work. But you can cut them and layer them in such a way that they will work. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and put this on, but before I do, I want to put my twine and ribbon. So I'm going to give this a little bit of adhesive. You should have black twine in your card kit. I'm using some natural color twine, and I'm just making loop-de-loop. Whatever will work with the amount that you have. You might have to just do them in strips. I can't remember how much black I ended up giving you. Okay, so we're giving that a cut. But then I want to add a little bit of ribbon. So you guys should all have some Summer Splash ribbon. I did a little test before we came on to see what does Bubble Bath look like on Basic Beige. And so this is what it looks like on Basic Beige, which isn't too far off. There's still a distance. This is the light Bubble Bath. This is the dark Bubble Bath. So the dark stands out, and I think the light does represent it pretty good. So I could possibly use that. However, I also did a test on some white, the new frayed white ribbon. I love this, lots. Now, I don't see where my sample went though. Uh-oh. Of course, because I'm live and I'm feeling good and organized, something had to happen. So we're just gonna have to recreate our own. Now, again, with those of you who have the Summer Splash, you are gonna want to cut yours in half. My frayed ribbon, not a good idea to cut in half because it actually does fray. Or actually, you know what? I could cut it in half. Let me color it first. Let's be brave. So again, I'm using the light Bubble Bath and I'm using my brush end. And all I'm doing is slowly, gently brushing over all the white to make the ribbon match what it is I'm doing. And now you want to go gently because this does over time fray out and wreck your brush end of your blend. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking it's kind of using up. But I find that my brush ends usually do last longer than the ink I guess it's the ink flow itself. So this is kind of lucky in that I'm, using the brush end because chances are I think I have to replace this almost already anyway. So again, I'm just coloring right to the end. And what I love about the blends is I just have to go through one side, and because it's alcohol ink, it seeps right through to the other. So I actually only need to do one side, unless something looks funny and you think you need to do the other side, which is highly unlikely. You can get away with that. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to risk it. I don't know if it's all going to fray on me or not, but there is stitching next to the fray marks that are on the end. So I'm thinking that this will still work. Now the nice thing in your kit is you're only using half of it, so you can save the other half to add on to another project, make a card, make some fun shabby bows with it. So if you have that ribbon in your kit, again, you're only using half of it. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just going to follow the same pattern, I guess you can call it, as I did with the twine, just to get so that it pops out, kind of shows on either side. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop it up. Now I want to try and keep my dimensionals to the center, only because I'm still wanting to tuck in those leaves. And so we'll see where that goes. So I'm just going to peel that off and peel that off. And then I'm going to layer that directly onto my card. And I'm actually layering it so that I'm butting up right to the middle strip is where I'm butting that to. So you can kind of just play with all the little ribbons, snip off any excess that you might have. And there. That does look lovely. But doesn't that look like camel? I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head, you guys. Okay. So now I'm looking for my little greenery things here. Now, I probably should have used some green ribbon, but I don't even think we have any. I should have colored it green. Oh, well. I feel like leaves need to be green, though, so let's tuck them in. And there's no rhyme or reason. They're just tucked in such a way that they layer each other, just so that it looks like two awesome little sprigs sticking out, like so. And then this is where we get to pull in our gems. So I don't have many of them left. These were the in color gems, but I do have some pretty in pink. And the pretty in pink gems, I'm actually going to change to bubble bath simply by using the brush tip end. And I'm just going to color 3 of them. I could possibly do 5 if I wanted to do a little more. I don't have any big ones available. Actually, let me see what a peach pie one looks like covered in a blend of bubble bath. I don't think it's going to go pink enough for my liking. No, it's not. It looks more orange. It looks more calypso coral, actually. Okay, so I'm going to take those 3 and I'm going to go ahead and just place them where I think they will help kind of bring the eye to my project. I want that sentiment to be what pops out. But you know what? Because they're all small, I feel like I do want to do more. So I think you guys just got 3, but I'm sure you have blends at home, or I mean embellishments at home that you can add some more. So I'm just going to color 2 more because I want to add, whoops, I want to add a couple more. I'm going to add 1 up there, and I want to add 1 right here. And there we go. So here are 2 cards. It's the same card, just done in a different color combination. Now, I was mentioning this doesn't look like the same color. And actually, I should do it with this one. If you haven't done this step yet, wait. Because what I did was went with the brush stroke and colored over it. I stamped for this one in Petunia Pop, but I stamped off first. So I stamped off once, and then I stamped over top of the thinking. But where I screwed up is I also ended up brushing over it with a Wink of Stella to give it some shine, except the Wink of Stella changed the color content. It actually kind of liquefied the ink. So don't add Wink of Stella over it. Maybe try it overnight, because maybe I just didn't let it dry enough, but it totally changed the color. I need to go grab a wet cloth, you guys. I'm sorry, because I need to stamp that. This is where you guys go get your water, take a sip while you're waiting for me. All these little, little oopsies. There, I'm going to stop talking about how I don't have a cloth. I have no excuse now. Okay, I'm bringing back the bubble bath, and I'm going to try and stamp over top. I'm still going to stamp off once on a scrap piece of paper. If I can find a scrap piece of paper. Just because I'm scared it's still going to be too dark. And it doesn't help that I have dimensionals underneath. Oh, it didn't really pop. I feel like I have to go full strength with that. Oh boy, I'm scared. Am I gonna wreck this now? Ah! I'm scared. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm gonna not risk it because look how dark that is. And that would make it that dark, and it might be okay because it does something, it does soak in and it changes color. I find bubble bath gets lighter as you let it dry and absorb. So we're just gonna let it do its thing. I'll wait to see what this looks like when it's dried, whether or not it's too dark for me to put over top. But that's what I did with this. And it looked fantastic when I stamped off once with Petunia Pop and then stamped over thinking, just don't wash it with Versamark. Again, do as I say, not as I do, right? Thanks, Diane. Yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out, although that camouflage, I don't know. It is not doing it for me. Okay, now we are on to card number 2. Is anyone actually stamping along and making the card with me as I go? I can try and go slower if needed. Okay, so here is the next card that we are doing. I love this card. I don't know if it's the black. I'm sure it's the black. That's kind of got me all giddy. I love what it looks like. I'm just trying to find a block to use, sorry. I also, as part of workstation cleanup, washed all of my blocks. So half of them are still in the sink in the laundry room. Okay, so I'm going to use the hearts for this one. We're also going to put the word friend on a block. I love how big that is. And you know what? I'm incorporating another stamp set as part of this. So in your kits, I pre-stamped this lovely flower. I absolutely love that flower. And it's from the Choose Happy stamp set. And I like it because the outline images are the perfect thickness to give a bold statement of the image and allow you to color it just to make that image pop. I think you've seen some cards that I posted, and if you're a part of our summer stamp camp, we used this and there was tons of inspiration and fun cards shared, and they just popped. And so I'm still using that flower, but yours is pre-done for you. And all we're gonna do is color that particular flower. So I'm gonna grab that flower actually and just quickly stamp because I don't have mine pre-stamped. And again, because I'm using different colors, we're going to set that aside so that you can kind of see what that looks like. But I am pulling in a different combo. So I'm pulling in the Bubble Bath along with the Pebbled Path. So it's Pebble Path that I'm using instead of Basic Black, which is just an awesome alternative. I like it better than Basic Gray even. So I highly recommend Pebble Path. It's one of the in colors if you don't have it yet, just because it works with all the soft colors. It's not so bold. And now too, we've got that basic beige. I haven't played with it, but I think it'll go nice with that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna pull in those same colors. Let's pull in the dark sea foam. For you, I use Garden Green on my card here. So Garden Green, Petunia Pop, and Pumpkin Pie Blends is what was used. And I did the light color as the inside of the leaf, the dark color just going over the lines of the leaves and kind of doing an outline, just to kind of give it that different shading. And then I'm going to do a light Bubble Bath as all around. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a crumb cake center. because then that kind of all matches that color combo that I did. And we're going to do I think I'm going to do a dark crumb cake center. Of course, you can do whatever you want. On this card, I did peach pie. Ooh, that was too dark. Oh, well, maybe I need to darken up. I need to darken up this flower. I'm going to go all around the outside with the dark bubble bath. And like I said, the color almost looks neon when you first start, but as you let it sit, it changes color. And you can keep going over and over them again. Like you can wait for it to dry, go back in, because these are alcohol markers. You can do that. And in fact, where I think that center is too light, I finally got a new color lifter. I'm just going to go in the center and try and lift some of that out. There we go. And now it's not so dark. I love it. And in fact, I'm going to take my color lifter and I'm going to lift some of the petals just for a different shaded look. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you know what? Since this is the only thing we're cutting out, let's just cut this now and get it over with. We'll put it aside. I'm snipping the whole flower, except I'm actually going to cut off the leaves because I want them going a different direction on my card. Okay. We are getting there. I know for some of you it's very therapeutic to cut. For me, I'm like, oh, I feel bad that I'm keeping you guys kind of not going. I feel bad making you watch me do this boring task. It's like watching paint dry. Oh. Although then again, I think of all of those silly kids' toy videos that my kids watched of some lady unpackaging, and there was no words at all. It was just wrap, wrap, crinkle, crinkle. I don't know if any of your kids did any of that, but man, it drove me nuts. Like, how can you watch that? That's so boring. Okay, now in your kit you should have 6 stripes. We're only going to actually use 5 of them, but it depends on if you want more of one color than the other. I'm letting you decide if you want more petunia pop, less black, more black, less petunia pop. You get to pick. Now I see that my color here is not perfect. Ooh. See, my trimmer was really bad. It was even cutting the paper funny. Okay, so in this case I am putting, I'm seeing a white gap. I don't want a white gap. I want that together. Okay, so you're going to close that up as much, the best you can, butting them up so there's no space beside them. We are just making some summer stripes because I'm obsessed with summer stripes this summer. Everything is going to have stripes. I don't know. I'm always obsessed every summer. If you go back the last couple of summers, you will find stripe projects, guaranteed. I love stripes. And then I just realized I forgot to put on one of my strips. Okay. See, like my darn, I missed that paper cutter doing that. So you know how you fix that? If you have those weird things, this is where you have to pull out your sanding paper and try and sand off all of those little flaws. So that's how you can tell if your blade is also dulling, because it'll start shredding your paper. And again, just use some sanding paper to clean that up a little bit. Okay, we'll get that all trimmed up. There we go. Okay, those pieces. Hopefully you can see where we're at. Okay, voila. And now inside your kit, you should have a white strip. And I should have a white strip too. And it looks like I probably grabbed it and used it sillily. I'm sure I had it when I put the pile down, but now that, oh, here it is. It's way over here. That's why. Okay. So now, again, I'm using Pebble Path, and you are going to use Basic Black. And for this one, you could do it one of two ways. You could ink this way, just go tap, 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 tap until you see the whole thing colored. You could also use the ink pad to tap directly on top just because this is so big. But because it's photopolymer and I can see through it, if this was one of the rubber ones, I would have done it the other way. But because I can see it, I'm leaving it as is. And I'm just going to stamp Friend on this piece. I have to rotate it though so it fits on the piece. And I'm centering it the best I can. Okay, and so we're just folding it here like so. And here we go. We've got our friend. I love it. It doesn't look too far off black, does it? It looks very similar, just saying. But there is a true difference, and you will notice it depending on the colors you're putting next to it. Okay, now that friend is done, we are going to do more summer stripes. So this is where you're going to pull out, oh, actually, yes, you're going to pull out your blends. So Petunia Pop, if you have it over here, you could get away with, if you have the old Rich Razzleberry ones, that might work. Or even just a lighter shade. It'll still pop up on your thing. Just make sure you do have a surface underneath you. And I am using the dark Bubble Bath. So I'm just gonna start making stripes from one end to the next, going on a slight angle, and I am putting a little bit of pressure to get a thicker stripe. So depending on how thick you want your stripe, that depends on how much pressure. So if you haven't done this before, you might want to practice on a scrap piece of paper just so that you can try and get equal pressure all the way along so that you somewhat have the same consistency in stripes. Don't forget, it's going to absorb into your paper, and that's okay. While that's drying, you can still ink and stamp. So I am going to stamp some hearts with my Bubble Bath. And I'm just going to kind of line this up so I have a sense of where I want this. And then I'm going to stamp just above it and off. I'm not mounting it in case I have to shift it. So for instance, for this one, I want this to come off the end. So I'm just going to move that a little bit and stamp. And then use my seal to go ahead. And now I'm going to mount it just above that heart. Okay. So super easy. You get to use the friend, you get to use the heart. We're not using all of them. We're not using all of the stamps that are in the stamp set, although by the time those of you who earned the mini album, I think you use all of them except possibly one, depending on what you're using your album for. Okay, so now that that's done, you're going to go ahead and pop that up with dimensionals. I have a dimensional fetish. I use lots of dimensionals. So you will see me put some in the middle, put some on the side, just because I don't want this to flop because I really like how it pops up, so I'm using a lot. Of course, if you're someone who's used dimensionals for a long time, you probably have lots of scrap pieces. Use those as well. We use every bit of our foams. I know this might be killing some of you who cut your dimensionals in half, but I just love the sturdiness of it. Again, it depends on the project and what I'm popping up. This is just something I like to pop. Okay, so we're going to go ahead here. Let me get this out of the way now, just so that's not too distracting. And I'm going to center this bubblegum piece directly in the center, like so. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab that flower, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, enough to hold this little part of the leaf. Remember, I cut it. It's not perfect. We don't need that part because it's going to be hidden. And now I'm just going to tuck this. Whoops, actually I want this. There's a corner here that actually has a big dip in it. And then that way more of the leaf shows. So we're going to put it there. And then I'm going to grab another dimensional. And that's actually going to hold, I'm going to put it over so that it holds that leaf in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I want to place it. I probably should have figured that out ahead of time, but I'm going to go ahead and maybe I made mine a little smaller than I made yours. So just figure out where it's going to fit best, where it's going to look cutest, because of course it's all about what it looks. This one's going to be in a little bit different layout than here, but that's okay. Okay, and then the final step is to add a little bit of embellishments. I don't know if you can see that, but these are some new iridescent gems that sold out really quick. They are on back order. I haven't checked to see if they're back in stock, but they just go with Bubble Bath and Petunia Pop. So amazing because they're iridescent. Pardon me, but they actually look like snowflakes in the center. So you're going to want to stock up on these to have them for Christmas. So add those to your wish list for your free shipping order if it's still available. And now I'm just going to randomly add a few of them to my project. I'm going to add a big one and a small one. And we're going to add another small one somewhere over here. Yeah, there we go. Super cute. I love that. I love both the colors. This is just soft. This is bright and bold. This is soft and relaxing, bright and bold. And now if you want to step up your own card, because maybe some of you are secret stampers and you need to send a card out for the month of July, so don't forget to get those cards in the mail. You can always step up your cards too. So although I've just done the fronts of these, you can do a little bit more. When I opened this up, I added a little pocket with some stripes using the mini pocket die. And this is where I added the little hi. Just something cute and delightful for when they open up their card. So that's just a little add-on that you could do to kind of delight. Make someone's day, creating smiles. That's what we do with our cards, right? I think so. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed those two projects. I really did have fun recreating them. I mean, I had fun making them because they were stripes. Look at, I've already lost. I've already lost the other two cards. Like, how is that even humanly possible? Anyways, I do have one kit left because I decided not to use the same design. So I would like to give away a kit to make both the cards that I showed tonight, but in the pink or in the Petunia Pop. Seriously, how? Like, I have no excuse. Where does this stuff go? Oh my gosh, I swear to gosh, some ghost comes in, takes my stuff, and moves on. Anyways, I don't have that tool to use, but I will go through and manually put people's names on the wheel. So use hashtag Summer Stripes as our fun giveaway code, and I will give away these card kits for these two cards to one lucky winner. And if you're someone who already made them, we'll turn them into something else for your secret stamper, because most of you are secret stampers. And if you're not, stay tuned in December to sign up for next year. Okay, this is like driving me bonkers. Where in the heck did those other, oh, here they are. I tucked them somewhere behind me. That is crazy. Okay, so hashtag Summer Stripes, and that is for these two card kits. And I'll post pictures as well. But I hope you liked me challenging myself to a different color combination. So stay tuned as I create some more cards. It's getting kind of late, so I won't play tonight, but I saw a layout that was kind of using strips again with bubble bath. I was going to use to highlight it. I just don't know what to put on it. So stay tuned. That's going to be a card in the making this week. Hopefully a good card design so that you guys can play along. And otherwise, when will that Summer Stripes giveaway end? I will announce it. How about I will close it as soon as I post the cards, and that'll give people time to catch the replay and put their own hashtag in there. But again, it has to be hashtag Summer Stripes with an S, just so that I can search for it and them all come up. Again, if there's something that you want to learn, whether that be a type of fold or a technique for me to share on Make It Monday, let me know. Next Monday, am I actually around? Actually, I don't think I'm around next Monday. Next Monday, I'm coming back from Calgary. So we will not have Make It Monday on Monday. It'll be on Tuesday. So I'm letting you guys know that now. Make It Monday is on a Tuesday next week, just because there's a junior lawn bowling tournament happening in Calgary this weekend. So of course I'm going down and coming back on Monday. I think that's all I have to share with you for now. But again, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. And I hope to see you at one of the upcoming events, and especially my retreat. Oh, it's so exciting. There's a lady who's hosted many of them there, so this guy I'm working with has hosted many, so I'm hoping we can make it work and everyone will love it. I've reached out to a few scrapbooking friends who have been there, and they thoroughly enjoy it. It's one of their favorite places, so I'm looking forward to making it happen for all of you guys. Stay tuned for more details. Bye for now, everybody.